Hello everybody, my name is the Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka Wakanda Snatch One, because I got playing around. As you can tell by the title of my thumbnail in the video, this is my WWE WrestleMania 42 Night 1 review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning all towards the end. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more wrestling content I do on the channel, because I'm on the road to 11K before the end of April. And go check out my WWE SmackDown review and highlights on the channel. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, WWE WrestleMania 42 for Night 1 was not a good show at all, but it had some good matches and good moments. And that's all I got to say. Alright, it says, WrestleMania 42 was live from Paradise, Nevada, Allegiant Stadium. Commentary tonight were Michael Cole and Ray Barrett. Then Now Forever Together, the WWE video leads us into the show. Video package Lin-Manuel and Miranda narrates the WrestleMania intro video. Alright. So we get John Cena kick off WrestleMania 42. The legendary John Cena makes his way to the ring to a huge ovation. He is the host of this year's WrestleMania 42. John Cena looks deeply moved by the reception. John Cena asks how he's doing as the host. The road to WrestleMania has been chaotic and unpredictable. The people have been very vocal. One could say it's paralyzing. John Cena says the time to talk is up. The time to deliver is now. We are all here with one thing on our minds. Who will step up and deliver tonight? It is such a great honor to welcome the crowd and the people watching around the world to WrestleMania 42. Protagonist goes off. The Usos make their way to the ring through the crowd. So we get a 6-man tag team match. The Usos main event, Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso and LA Knight versus the Division, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and IShowSpeed. This was a fun 6-man tag team match. That's all I gotta say. The two teams yell at each other as the bell rings. The Usos super kick Logan Paul and Austin Theory. And Austin Theory Austin Theory out of the ring, leaving a terrified IShowSpeed. LA Knight goes after IShowSpeed. IShowSpeed hooks a side headlock, but LA Knight stands up with the headlock applied, taking IShowSpeed off his feet. IShowSpeed backflips through a back suplex and backflips off the top rope, landing on his feet. LA Knight clotheslines IShowSpeed down and punches Logan Paul off the apron. IShowSpeed catches LA Knight with a scoop slam and celebrates like he won the match. LA Knight gets up looking confused. IShowSpeed blind taps Logan Paul and gets out of the ring. LA Knight brings the Maverick in the hard way and bounces him off the top turnbuckle. LA Knight stomps Logan Paul down as the crowd shouts yeah with each stomp. Main event, Jey Uso tags in and he climbs the second rope for 10 punches. Each punch gets a yeet. Jimmy Uso tags in and the Usos send Logan Paul into the ropes for a double team back elbow/elbow drop combo. Jimmy Uso picks up a 2 count. Jimmy Uso stands Logan Paul up and chops his chest. Jimmy Uso sends Logan Paul into the ropes, but Logan Paul holds on and boosts him back. Austin Theory blind tags in. Jimmy Uso sends Logan Paul over the top rope, and Austin Theory hits him with a Rolling Thunder dropkick. Austin Theory knocks Jey Uso off the apron and punches away at him. Logan Paul tags back in. The Vision hits Jimmy Uso with a double team vertical suplex before getting up and posing 2 loud boos. Logan Paul stomps Jimmy Uso and they point at IShowSpeed. IShowSpeed pumps himself up as he tags in IShowSpeed for the suplex on Jimmy Uso, but Jimmy Uso easily counters it and hits IShowSpeed with a suplex. Logan Paul quickly tags back in and punches LA Knight and Jey Uso off the ring apron. Logan Paul punches Jimmy Uso in the corner and taunts the crowd. Logan Paul jacks Jimmy Uso in the jaw with a forearm before delivering some body shots. Logan Paul yells at the crowd to charge, but Jimmy Uso knocks him back before hitting a corkscrew moonsault. Jey Uso gets the crowd clapping to give his brothers some energy. Jey Uso and Austin Theory tag in. Jey Uso punches away at Austin Theory before doing some threat tricks. Austin Theory dunks a punch and hits. Austin Theory dunks a punch and lifts him, but Jey Uso slides off and hits the ropes and drops him with a spear. 1-2. Logan Paul breaks it up. Logan Paul quickly gets a gut wrench suplex on Jey Uso before turning into a super kick from Jimmy Uso. Austin Theory punches Jimmy Uso down and sends Jey Uso's shoulders into the ring post. Jimmy Uso annihilates Austin Theory with a super kick. IShowSpeed gets in, but he hesitates. IShowSpeed somehow hits Jimmy Uso with a head scissors takeover. IShowSpeed celebrates before LA Knight grabs him for a blunt force trauma. IShowSpeed pushes LA Knight into Logan Paul. Austin Theory is furious that IShowSpeed accidentally sent LA Knight into Logan Paul. Austin Theory holds LA Knight up and tells him to attack. LA Knight pushes Austin Theory into IShowSpeed before hitting Austin Theory with the BLT for the win. The winners of the match by pinfall, the Usos and LA Knight. This was a fun, normal 6-man tag team match. Alright, it says, a furious Logan Paul gets in the ring and yells at IShowSpeed, telling him he cost them a WrestleMania match. Logan Paul punches IShowSpeed in the face with his titanium loaded fist. Logan Paul says IShowSpeed had one job and sends him out of the ring. Logan Paul clears off the Spanish commentary table. Logan Paul calls IShowSpeed a moron and punches him onto the table. Logan Paul heads to the top rope, but Jey Uso puts him down. The Usos hit Logan Paul with a 1D to save IShowSpeed. LA Knight checks on IShowSpeed and puts him in the ring. They start to talk to him about something. LA Knight lays Logan Paul on the commentary table. They encourage a terrified IShowSpeed to go to the top rope and they dive onto Logan Paul. IShowSpeed climbs, stands on the top of the ring post, does a taunt and hits Logan Paul with a huge fall splash through the commentary table. Michael Cole calls it an I show splash. That was the highlight of the moment when IShowSpeed hit a fall splash on Logan Paul through the Spanish table. IShowSpeed. The Usos and LA Knight celebrate with IShowSpeed in the ring. IShowSpeed is gasping for breath. Jey Uso runs it back and they celebrate with some yeeting in the ring. Welcome to WrestleMania 42. Replay various angle of the IShow splash onto Logan Paul through the commentary table, and I know that's gonna get like some million views, and it's gonna go viral. And that's all I gotta say. All right. So we go to ESPN ad break. George Kittle of the San Francisco 49ers is showing at ringside. Jamar Gibbs of the Detroit Lions are also there. Tyrese Hellenberg of the Indiana Pacers is showing. Kittle drinks Tyrese Hellenberg's beer. Stephen A. Smith is showing, and he gets some booze. Jacob Fatu comes out for an entrance, accompanied by some fire dancers. They move fired up and down their fire stick. So we get the unsanctioned match. The Samoan Werewolf Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. Now this was a good match, but I needed more violence. So that's all I gotta say. My prediction was right with the first match with the Usos and LA Knight winning. And this is my second pick of the night. Like I said, Jacob Fatu was my pick to win. So let me take a sip of my water. Now this match was fantastic, but I just need more violence with Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. Alright, as Drew McIntyre moves towards the ring, Jacob Fatu hits him with a suicide dive. The bell rings to start the unsanctioned match. WWE will not be labeled to war for whatever happens. Jacob Fatu sends Drew McIntyre into the barricade and a ring post before putting him into the timekeeper's area. Jacob Fatu goes under the ring and pulls out 2 tables as well as 6 chairs. Jacob Fatu sees Drew McIntyre getting up, so he kicks him in the face and headbutts him. Jacob Fatu grabs a toolbox and throws some tools in the ring. Drew McIntyre cowers away from Jacob Fatu, remembering the 17 stitches he got from CM Punk inside Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood in 2024. Drew McIntyre quickly kicks Jacob Fatu down and slams the back of his head into the steel scaffolding of the ring. Drew McIntyre hits a guillotine catapult into the steel before setting a table up. Drew McIntyre grabs a phone from his brother and does another WrestleMania tweet mid-match. Alright. Well, I'm sorry. Drew McIntyre gets Jacob Fatu in the ring and grabs a wrench. Jacob Fatu clotheslines him down before sending him into the ropes, but he lowers his head and eats a kick. Jacob Fatu fights back and takes Drew McIntyre down with a clothesline before hitting a senton splash. Jacob Fatu headbutts away at him in the corner before hitting a running hip attack. Jacob Fatu struts around the ring and garrots a La Umaga. Jacob Fatu ducks a clothesline from Drew McIntyre and hits a pop-up Samoan drop for a 2 count. Jacob Fatu grabs a steel chair and Drew McIntyre leaps towards him with a flying Galasco kiss. Drew McIntyre wedges the chair. Drew McIntyre wedges the chair in the corner of the ring. Jacob Fatu reverses a whip into the chair, but Drew McIntyre avoids it. Drew McIntyre catapults him headfirst into the ring post before turning him inside out with an inverted German suplex. Jacob Fatu rolls out of the ring and tries to get to his feet. Drew McIntyre hits the ropes and takes out Jacob Fatu with a somersault senton. Jacob Fatu quickly gets Jacob Fatu in the ring and starts to count down. 3, 2, 1. Jacob Fatu does a Claymore kick. Jacob Fatu drives Drew McIntyre headfirst into the chair wedges in the corner. Jacob Fatu immediately follows up with a mighty moonsault. 1, 2. Drew McIntyre kicks out. Drew McIntyre managed to grab a wrench and hits Jacob Fatu in the knee with it. Drew McIntyre hits him on the head with a wrench and digs it into his forehead. Drew McIntyre smiles maniacally. Drew McIntyre sets 2 chairs up, seat to seat. Drew McIntyre sends him through the chairs with a falcon arrow for a near fall. Drew McIntyre threatens Dane Angler, a favorite target of his, for not counting fast enough. Drew McIntyre pulls Egner's belt from his pants and swings it around. Jacob Fatu super kicks Drew McIntyre before he can hit him with the belt. So Jacob Fatu was putting BTA on Drew McIntyre with that belt. Jacob Fatu grabs a steel chair and smashes it on his back. Jacob Fatu grabs another chair and hits Drew McIntyre with it. Jacob Fatu grabs the belt and whips Drew McIntyre back with it 6 times. Drew McIntyre groans in pain and with each whip. Jacob Fatu nods and smiles. Jacob Fatu grabs the toolbox, but Drew McIntyre stunts him with a Claymore kick. Jacob Fatu barely kicks out. Drew McIntyre is furious with the referee and shows him they trade punches from their knees before getting to their feet and going back and forth. Jacob Fatu eventually takes Drew McIntyre down with a fury of headbutts. Jacob Fatu grabs a table which has some Slim Jim sponsorships on it and sets it up in the ring. Jacob Fatu puts Drew McIntyre on the table and headbutts him. Jacob Fatu smashes a chair across Drew McIntyre's front. Jacob Fatu climbs the top rope, but Drew McIntyre throws a chair into his head before smashing it off his back. Drew McIntyre then flips Jacob Fatu off the ropes through the table at ringside. Drew McIntyre rolls Jacob Fatu in the ring and signs up the Samoan Werewolf. Jacob Fatu fights back with a pair of super kicks. Jacob Fatu grabs the toolbox and cracks Drew McIntyre in the skull with it, knocking him onto the table. Jacob Fatu immediately hits the mighty moonsault for the win. The winner by pinfall, Jacob Fatu. This match was fantastic, but I just need more violence between Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu celebrates wildly with the fans. The commentators tell everyone watching on ESPN Night 2 to go to ESPN app to watch the rest of WrestleMania 42. ESPN outbreak. The WWE blimps flies around Giant Stadium. Michael Cole and Wade Barrett welcome us back to the show. They introduce the Spanish commentary team. Finally, they go over the matches remaining on tonight's WrestleMania 42 Saturday card. Alright, Alexa Bliss comes out with entrance Atari and pays tribute to the late Bray Wyatt. And I'm glad they did that. You know what I'm saying? RIP to Bray Wyatt, man. The Bella Twins comes out last, but Nikki Bella is in crutches. I knew she wasn't gonna wrestle. Nikki Bella says she tried hard to overcome this injury, but she couldn't get medically cleared. She didn't want to ruin Brie Bella's WrestleMania moment, so she called an old friend. Paige music hits to a huge ovation. Bro, this was Paige 8 years back in WWE. So the WWE is making the Divas era happening. The WWE is making the Divas era happening all over again. So that's all I gotta say. So we get the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match for the 4-way tag team match. Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair versus Bayley Raquel versus the Irresistible Force, Nia Jax and Last Legend, and Brie Bella and Paige accompanied by Nikki Bella. In my honest opinion, I did want Last Legend and Nia Jax to retain, but that didn't happen. As you can see the title of the thumbnail. This match right here, I ain't even gonna lie, man. This was a I ain't gonna lie. This match right here, I was not looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? But it was just there for what it was. But I'm just gonna say it was just solid. Even though I was not looking forward to it, it was just a solid match. This is Paige's first WWE match in 8 years. Last Legend starts against Brie Bella, Alexa Bliss, and Bayley. Last Legend runs over all of them before avalanches Brie Bella. Nia Jax tags in. The Irresistible Force hit Bayley with a small drop / boot, big boot combo. Alexa Bliss kicks Nia Jax back in tags Charlotte Flair in. Charlotte Flair hits a diving crossbody block on Nia Jax and sends her out of the ring. Charlotte Flair chops Brie Bella off before Bayley elbows her in the face. Lyra Kira tags in, but Charlotte Flair goes for a figure four. Bayley rolls Charlotte Flair up for a 2 count. Brie Bella used Lyra Kira as a weapon against Charlotte Flair. Brie Bella starts hitting Charlotte Flair and Lyra Kira with a yes kick. Brie Bella then points to Paige. Brie Bella hits Lyra Kira with an insecurity. Charlotte Flair rolls her up, but Brie Bella kicks out. Nia Jax puts Brie Bella out of the ring and sends her into the barricade. Lash Legend tags in and slams Brie Bella on the apron. Charlotte Flair boots Nia Jax off the apron before turning into a bicycle kick from Lash Legend. Lash Legend pulls and taunts Bayley. Charlotte Flair boots Lash Legend and hits a backbreaker. Brie Bella tags in and hits a flying tornado DDT on Lash Legend. Lyra Kira sends Alexa Bliss into the corner and informs her. Bayley tags in and hits a running back elbow on Alexa Bliss. Lyra Kira tags back in and hits a running corner clothesline. Bayley is back in. Lyra Kira hits a backbreaker before Bayley hits a flying elbow drop. 1-2. Lash Legend pulls Bayley off. Brie Bella tries to tag Paige, but Lash Legend slams her into the corner. Lash Legend puts Brie Bella on the top rope, but Lyra Kira attacks. Lyra Kira climbs in and attacks Brie Bella. Alexa Bliss joins in. Alexa Bliss and Lyra Kira go for a double team superplex. Lash Legend runs up and powerbombs Lyra Kira and Alexa Bliss down. Brie Bella then takes Lash Legend out with a missile dropkick. Nia Jax tags in as Charlotte Flair does. As does Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair boots Bayley and falls over. Nia Jax headbutts Charlotte Flair. Paige, who was phased into an earlier retirement on December 2017, tagged in for her first WWE match. Paige runs wild on everyone and clotheslines before hitting Bayley with a fisherman suplex. The crowd gives a huge ovation. Lash Legend puts Paige on the apron. The cameraman filming this fall over and falls over in an amazing WrestleMania moment. Paige fights Lash Action off. Lyra Kira rolls through a crossbody from Paige and goes for Nightwing, but Paige slides off and hits a Paige Turner. Bailey breaks it up. Nia Jax hits Bailey with a Samoan drop before going for a powerbomb on Brie Bella. Lyra Kira pushes Nia Jax and Brie Bella over the top rope. Lash hits Lyra Kira with a lash extension, but Charlotte Flair and Paige breaks it up. Paige and Charlotte Flair hit Lash with a double team clothesline over the top rope. Former teammates and rivals Paige and Charlotte Flair squares off to a nice ovation. Now I remember this moment before, so that's all I gotta say. They go back and forth with forearm shots before Charlotte Flair chops her down. Charlotte Flair goes for a figure four, but Paige rolls her up for a 2 count. Charlotte Flair quickly hits natural selection and tags Brie Bella, Alexa Bliss in. Nikki Bella pulls Charlotte Flair out of the ring and smashes her with her crutch. Charlotte Flair yells, oh, you know what? Paige gets her knees up to counter Twisted Bliss. Paige hits the Rampage for the win. The winner by pinfall and your new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Brie Bella and Paige. Did you see the look on Nikki Bella's face when Brie Bella and Paige won? You know that look on Nikki Bella's face was so fake. You can tell that Nikki Bella was salty, and that's all I gotta say. But good moment to see Paige back in WWE, and it has been over 8 years. So that's all I gotta say. I had to take a sip of water because I want to stay hydrated. But anyway, let me continue. Paige immediately becomes emotional upon being officially back home. The Bella twins embrace her. They all pose in the ring as fireworks goes off. Alright, let's move on. A video package. The trailer of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming to IMAX on May 22nd. The comedians Tony Hinchcliffe and Jeff Ross are shown at ringside. We see the Cone Zone sponsored by Drumstick. The Wonder Years are there to sing Becky Lynch theme song. The lead singer was late getting to the microphone when his vocals track started. WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion AJ Lee skips down to the ring with several young girls dressed like her. That was a good moment. That was a good moment right there. So we get WWE Women's Champion Intercontinental Championship, the man Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee, and this was a solid match. But I knew Becky Lynch was cheating. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. But AJ Lee should have retained the Women's Intercontinental Championship. But anyway, this is AJ Lee's first WrestleMania match in 11 years. Becky Lynch kicks her, but AJ Lee quickly reverses a whip and hits an arm drag. Becky Lynch fights up and sends her into the ropes for a dropkick, but AJ Lee holds the ropes. AJ Lee shows her up by sitting on the ropes. Yes, sitting on the ropes and rolling her eyes. Becky Lynch angrily charged, but AJ Lee sends her out of the ring. AJ Lee goes for a crossbody block to the floor, but Becky Lynch catches her and hits a fallaway slam into the lead barricade. Becky Lynch gets AJ Lee in the ring, goes to the top rope and hits a flying leg drop for a 2 count. Becky Lynch avalanches her in the corner and hits a back exploder for a 2 count. Becky Lynch grabs AJ Lee's hair and slams her on the mat before the referee admonishes her. Becky Lynch has had many problems with Jessica Carl over the last few months. Yeah, over the last few months. So and yeah. Let me find this. What does it say? It says right here. I found it. For the last several months. for the last, where was I? Well, da da da. But Becky Lynch catches her and hits her fallaway slam on the left barricade. Becky Lynch gets AJ Lee in the ring and goes to the tower and hits a flying leg drop for a 2 count. Becky Lynch avalanches her in the corner and hits a back swatter for a 2 count. Becky Lynch grabs AJ Lee's hair and she slams her on the mat before the referee admonishes her. Becky Lynch has had many problems with Jessica Carr over the last few months. Becky Lynch takes the top turnbuckle pad off, but Jessica Carr stops her. Becky Lynch yells at her, and Jessica Carr says she's insane. AJ Lee rolls Becky Lynch up for a 2 count. So Becky Lynch was trying to cheat right there. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee throws fists in the center of the ring, with AJ Lee coming out on top. AJ Lee knees her back and goes for a tornado DDT, but Becky Lynch throws her off. AJ Lee elbows her in the jaw and clotheslines her. AJ Lee avalanches her against the ropes, but AJ Lee quickly fights back. AJ Lee sweeps her feet and goes to the top rope for a missile drop kick. AJ Lee picks up a 2 count. AJ Lee counters with a Black Widow, but AJ Lee comes back with a slice spread. AJ Lee goes for a shining whistle, but Becky Lynch counters with a powerbomb for a near fall. AJ Lee has a bruise on her thigh. Becky Lynch goes for a manhandle slam, but AJ Lee counters with a wheelbarrow arm drag. AJ Lee goes for a Black Widow, but Becky Lynch slams her into the turnbuckles before hitting a manhandle slam. 1-2. AJ Lee kicks out. Becky Lynch can't believe it. Becky Lynch gets AJ Lee in the corner and stomps her down. The referee admonishes her, so Becky Lynch gets in her face. Jessica Carr shouts back at her. Becky Lynch shoves her, so Jessica Carr shoves her back. Becky Lynch is furious and charges her, but Jessica Carr ducks. Hits AJ Lee. AJ Lee hits Becky Lynch with a manhandle slam. 1-2. Becky Lynch kicks out of her own move. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee trade punches for their knees before getting to their feet. Becky Lynch goes for a manhandle slam, but AJ Lee counters with the Black Widow. Becky Lynch screams in pain and reaches for the ropes. Becky Lynch grabs AJ Lee's hair and pulls her down. Becky Lynch then sneakily pulls the turnbuckle pad off. Becky Lynch pulls Jessica Carr in front of her as AJ Lee goes for the avalanche. Becky Lynch smashes AJ Lee's face and exposed turnbuckle and hits the mandible slam. The referee doesn't see it. 1, 2, 3. The winner by pinfall, your new WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch. So, I know AJ Lee is so disappointed, and I know AJ Lee is going to ask for her rematch on Monday Night Raw. But yeah, that match was not. It was just solid match. What it was. Excuse me. AJ Lee is furious as she watches watches a title Becky Lynch celebrating with the Women's Intercontinental Champion. Alright, so let's move on. So after boxer Chuck Zito is at ringside, George Kittle steals his beer and drinks it. Former boxer Terrence Crawford is with his family. Funny Marco, the comedian, is also in attendance. Seth Rollins comes out in a jacket that is pouring smoke, wearing contrast in that complete black out his eye. They utterly to this as a phoenix rising from the ashes. So we get the ring general Gunther versus Seth Rollins. This was a good match, man, and I really enjoyed this match. Before the bell rings, Gunther hits him with a massive dropkick followed by a swinging back suplex. Gunther crushes him with a powerbomb. Seth Rollins rolls out of the ring, holding his head as Gunther poses in the ring. Gunther goes outside to grab him, but Seth Rollins drags his finger in his eyes and throws him over the commentary table. Seth Rollins punches away at Gunther and throws him over the table. Seth Rollins throws some chairs at Gunther and looks fired up. Gunther regroups at ringside, and Seth Rollins gives him a double bird. That double birds they get in the ring, and the bell rings to officially start the match. They trade punches before Gunther chops him. They knock each other into the ropes with punches and boots. Before Gunther hits a big boot, Gunther goes for a sleeper hold. The same move that ended the careers of Goldberg, John Cena, and AJ Styles. Seth Rollins fights it and flips through a suplex attempt. Seth Rollins takes Gunther down before holding his arm and stomping his chest. Gunther kicks him off and hits a stiff lariat. Gunther slowly gets up and grabs Seth Rollins, hitting an uppercut followed by a chop. Gunther kicks Seth Rollins in the back and rips at his face. Gunther elbows him in the forehead and continues to strike him. Seth Rollins gets in his face, so Gunther chops him back down and stands on him. Seth Rollins gets up on the apron. Gunther attacks him and knocks him down. Gunther climbs the second rope and pulls Seth Rollins up from the apron. Gunther goes for a superplex, but Seth Rollins slides it and catches the ring general with a buckle bomb. Gunther avoids a stump and hits the release German suplex. Seth Rollins avoids him charging and hits a German suplex. Gunther pops up and clotheslines him, so Seth Rollins gets his feet and hits a big clothesline. They take a few moments to recover before trading some strikes. They trade kicks and headbutts. Gunther lights him up with a chop. Seth Rollins responds with a chop, but Gunther chops are too powerful. Gunther talks trash, so Seth Rollins chops back at him. The referee backs Seth Rollins up as Gunther immediately grabs him for a powerbomb. 1-2. Seth Rollins kicks out. Both men are down. Gunther pulls himself up to his feet, pulls Seth Rollins up, and hits a short arm lariat. Gunther pulls before hitting the ropes for another stiff lariat. Gunther hits the ropes for another clothesline, but Seth Rollins flips through it and tries for a pedigree. Gunther counters out, but Seth Rollins takes him down with a knee. Seth Rollins goes for a pedigree, but Gunther hits a back body drop into a pin for a 2 count. Seth Rollins managed to hit the pedigree, followed by with a stomp. 1-2. Gunther kicks out. The crowd cannot believe it. The crowd chants, "This is awesome," which is agreed by the crowd. Seth Rollins gets to his feet and heads to the top rope, but Gunther avoids a diving stomp, but Seth Rollins comes back with a O'Connor roll. Gunther kicks out at 2, applies the sleeper hold. Gunther has him in the center of the ring. Seth Rollins managed to fight through the hole and gets out. Seth Rollins hits a discuss forearm to the jaw, rocking Gunther. Seth Rollins hits a second one. Seth Rollins goes for a third, but Gunther annihilates him with a lariat. Gunther goes to the top rope, but Seth Rollins scares the ropes for a superplex before rolling to a Falconer. 1-2. Gunther kicks out. Seth Rollins then applies the sleeper hold to Gunther. Appears to be fading away, but gets to his foot on the bottom rope to break the hold. Gunther rolls out of the ring to recover. Seth Rollins hits him with a pair of suicide dives. Seth Rollins goes for a third one, but Gunther catches him. Gunther crushes him with a vicious powerbomb against the apron before hitting one on the edge of the commentary table. Gunther pulls him onto the table for a powerbomb, but Seth Rollins counters into a pedigree. Seth Rollins goes to the other table and leads to hit Gunther with a stomp. All of a sudden, Braun Breaker charges down to the ring and crushes Seth Rollins with a spear. Braun Breaker rolls Seth Rollins back into the ring. Seth Rollins fiercely looks at Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker smirks as he walks off. The referee was checking on Gunther as this all happened. Gunther gets in the ring and grabs Seth Rollins for a sleeper hold. Gunther wraps his legs around Seth Rollins, trapping him. Seth Rollins fading away, and the referee calls for the bell. The winner by referee stoppage going through. This was a good match. This was in my opinion, this was the match of the night. In my opinion, Gunther celebrates as we see replays of what happened. Braun Breaker is all the way up the ramp when he sees Seth Rollins pose at ringside. Braun Breaker runs at breakneck speed down the ramp and hits him with a spear. Braun Breaker tells Seth Rollins she should have put him down when he had the chance. Waiting at the top of the ramp was Braun Breaker is Paul Heyman. They embraced and Paul Heyman raised Braun Breaker's arm in victory. Alright. We hear some of the calls from the internationally sent commentary team for WrestleMania moment. We see WrestleMania watch party around the world. WWE Hall of Fame Clash of 2026. The newest member of the WWE Hall of Fame are including Nick Hogan and Robin Russ Sanfoff are with Jimmy Hart representing Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. The family of Bad News Brown is showing. It's one person. Dennis Rodman is there. Axe and Smash Demolition are there. The family of Psycho Sid Vicious and is showing. The phenomenal AJ Styles gets his own entrance, followed by Stephanie McMahon. ESPN ad break. The promote the WrestleMania Sunday to WrestleMania 42 Sunday card. Photos CM Punk through the years. Liv Morgan comes out with dancers as she lip syncs her new theme, Trouble. That Liv Morgan's new theme song is just god awful. Alright, so we get the Women's World Championship match. Liv Morgan versus Stephanie McMahon. This was a solid match, but I really did want Stephanie McMahon to retain. But Liv Morgan got the win, but it is what it is. I'm just waiting for Raquel or Roxanne Perez to turn on Liv Morgan. And the Judgment Day needs to break up. Yeah, I said it. Liv Morgan is sporting two black eyes and a nasty limp on her forehead from a nasty attack 2 weeks ago on Raw. The Bellarians and Stephanie McMahon quickly takes her down. They roll around the match, punching each other. Liv Morgan pushes her off and rolls out of the ring. Stephanie McMahon grabs her at ringside and drives her into a lead barricade. Stephanie McMahon gets her in the ring and avalanches her in the ring. Avalanches her in the corner before hitting a running meteor. Stephanie McMahon heads to the top rope, but Liv Morgan attacks her from behind. Liv Morgan springboards off the ropes for a sunset flip powerbomb to pick up the 2 count. Liv Morgan stomps La Primera and clubs the back. Liv Morgan connects with a Three Amigos before guaranteeing a La Eddie Guerrero, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Liv Morgan kicks Stephanie McMahon in the head and goes to the top rope. Liv Morgan goes for a frog splash, but Stephanie McMahon gets the knees up. Stephanie McMahon quickly hits a slam and grabs the head of the Devil's Kiss. Stephanie McMahon hits a double underhook long blower for a two count. Stephanie McMahon goes for a SBB, but Liv Morgan gets out and hits a backstabber. Liv Morgan gets up and slaps Stephanie McMahon in the face several times. Liv Morgan grabs her by the hair and signals for Devil's Kiss. Stephanie McMahon rolls her up for a 2 count. Stephanie McMahon does an insecurity and hits the SBB 1-2. Liv Morgan kicks out. Liv Morgan catches her with a code breaker. Liv Morgan charges her, but Stephanie McMahon rolls under her and hits Liv Morgan with the Oblivion 1-2. Liv Morgan kicks out. Roxanne Perez runs down to distract the referee. Raquel Rodriguez takes advantage of the distraction to attack Stephanie McMahon. Liv Morgan hits an Oblivion 1-2. Stephanie McMahon kicks out. Liv Morgan is stunned. Excuse me. Liv Morgan charges her, but Stephanie McMahon kicks her down. Stephanie McMahon rocks Roxanne Perez and Stephanie McMahon off the apron. Liv Morgan charged, but Stephanie McMahon sidesteps her, sending Liv Morgan into Rodriguez through the ropes. Stephanie McMahon hits a springboard crossbody onto Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez to the floor. Liv Morgan quickly drives Several occur into the steel steps. Liv Morgan goes to the top rope and hits a diving code breaker. Liv Morgan hits the Oblivion 1, 2, 3. The winner by pinfall and your new Women's World Champion, Liv Morgan. Now, the outcome, I was kind of mad about it, but it is what it is. But Stephanie McCure is going to request a rematch. So, AAA Mega Champion Dirty Dominic Mysterio runs to the ring to celebrate with Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan stands tall in the ring with the Judgment Day as fireworks goes off. Liv Morgan shouts that she is the greatest Women's World Champion of all time. But did you see the look on Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez's face? You know one of them, Raquel and Roxanne Perez want that Women's World Champion. But Raquel Rodriguez needs to be on her own. Just like Roxanne Perez needs to be on her own. And that's all I gotta say. And I just cannot wait for the Judgment Day to break up. And that's all I gotta say. Let's move on. So we get John Cena announces the WrestleMania attendance. John Cena is in the ring to announce the attendance. Everyone has been talking about the attendance at WrestleMania. John Cena says he takes the over. John Cena says he'll take the over 5,050,816 people are in the attendance tonight. Fireworks goes off. Bianca Belair, who hasn't competed since the last year's WrestleMania, makes her way to the ring. The EST of WWE comes out to a nice reception. The crowd chants for her, and Bianca Belair beams with pride. Bianca Belair says you can't spell WrestleMania without EST. It's been a long time since she's been out here, but she wants to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you, and it says from the bottom of her heart, hey, thank you for all the support. Bianca Belair has missed them. You can't have WrestleMania without a few surprises. Bianca Belair says she needs to add one more to the attendance list. Bianca Belair opens her ring robe to reveal a very prominent pregnancy bump. Congratulations to Bianca Belair for announcing her pregnancy. That was a good moment of the night for Bianca Belair. John Cena embraced her as the crowd gives her a nice ovation. Bianca Belair says the EST is having a baby. John Cena thanks her for allowing their family to share this moment with hers. Bianca Belair is emotional. John Cena says we need to include the youngest superstar in history. It's now 5,817 in attendance. Next up is your main event. You know what I'm saying? When John Cena was talking to Bianca Belair, I know Montez Ford was watching. So that's all I gotta say. So we get WrestleMania 43 will take place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Video package undisputed WWE champion. Pat McAfee makes his entrance to boos from the crowd. Pat McAfee flips off a bunch of people and shouts a few F words. The Viper Randy Orton makes his way to the ring. Pat McAfee posed alongside him. Cody Rhodes' entrance featuring many of the different outfits he has worn through his career, from the green trunks as a rookie to the mask dashing physical path to Stardust to the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes embraced WWE President Nick Khan children. Nick Khan, who never looks like he enjoys a single moment of his life, and nods at the champion. Cody Rhodes then goes to his wife Brandy and embraces his daughter Liberty. As Alicia Taylor goes to makes the introductions, Pat McAfee takes the microphone. Pat McAfee tells the disgusting pigs to listen up. Pat McAfee says Randy Orton is a deception of perfection and professional wrestling. He'll show all the fat bombs and greatness looks like as he becomes a 15-time world champion. This man will save the business tonight, Randy Orton. So we get the main event of the evening. So we get the undisputed WWE champion, the Viper, Randy Orton, accompanied by Pat McAfee, versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. This was the worst match of the night. The main event match was trash. you mess up Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes feud. And this is going right back to what I was saying. If you knew that Randy Orton was going to lose to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, then what was the point of Randy Orton becoming the number one contender at the Elimination Chamber to begin with? Y'all just mess up the feud between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. They messed this feud up. But this was the worst main event match of the night. As Charles Robinson holds up the undisputed WWE champion, Pat McAfee hits Cody Rhodes in the back of the head. Randy Orton and Pat McAfee double team the champion. Cody Rhodes kicks Pat McAfee away and sends Randy Orton's shoulders into the post. Cody Rhodes then hits Pat McAfee with the crossroads. Cody Rhodes kicks Pat McAfee out of the ring and clears off the commentary table. Cody Rhodes puts Pat McAfee on the table and punches away at him. Jelly Roll appears at ringside and stands on the Spanish commentary table. Jelly Roll leaps and hits Pat McAfee with a diving elbow drop through the table. Jelly Roll tells Cody Rhodes to give the people the fight they wanted to see. A stretcher is brought to the ringside to receive the broken Pat McAfee. Michael Cole brings up a rumor that Randy Orton has a back injury and may not be at 100% for this match. The crowd chants, "You deserve it," as Pat McAfee is wailing away on the stretcher. Pat McAfee holds his arm and gives a thumbs up before a transition to a middle finger. Randy Orton takes his time getting into the ring. When he does, the bell rings to start the WrestleMania Saturday main event. A light Randy Orton chant fires up. They stare at each other before locking up. They toss around before giving a clean break. They look up again and Randy Orton applies a side headlock. The Viper chinches it in. But Cody Rhodes rips him off. Randy Orton easily shoulder tackles him and lets the champion get to his feet. They lock up again and Cody Rhodes wrenches the left arm. Randy Orton tries to block an overhead waistline. Cody Rhodes transitions to a side headlock. Randy Orton whips him off, drops down, and shoulder tackles him against Randy Orton. Randy Orton hits an uppercut before wrenches an arm. Cody wrenches Cody Rhodes' arm. Randy Orton bounces Cody Rhodes off the top rope before hitting an uppercut. Cody Rhodes stumbles to the next corner. Randy Orton sends him to the opposite corner, but Cody Rhodes slingshots over him, slides through the legs, and hits a drop down uppercut. Cody Rhodes then hits Randy Orton with a snap power slam. Cody Rhodes goes for a Cody cutter, but Randy Orton blocks it and hits a headlock backbreaker. Randy Orton holds his back in pain. Randy Orton quickly pokes Cody Rhodes in the eyes and hits a snapmare followed by a weird chinlock. Cody Rhodes manages to fight up and hits a suplex. Randy Orton experiences and swings at him before he rolls out of the ring to recover. Randy Orton back is in a lot of pain. Randy Orton attacks Cody Rhodes as he tries to get him at ringside. Randy Orton pulls Cody Rhodes in the ring. As Randy Orton gets in the ring, Cody Rhodes kicks the ring ropes into the groin. Cody Rhodes takes Randy Orton down and applies a single leg crab. Cody Rhodes is putting pressure on Randy Orton's injured back. Cody Rhodes releases the hold and attacks the back. Cody Rhodes pushes Randy Orton into the ropes and forearms the lower back. Cody Rhodes knocks Randy Orton in the corner and punches him. Cody Rhodes wrenches the arm and whips him hard into the opposite corner. Randy Orton drops down and rolls out of the ring to recover again. Cody Rhodes attacks Randy Orton from behind and throws him back into the ring. Cody Rhodes covers for a 1 count. Cody Rhodes applies a seated bear hug. Randy Orton fights up and elbows out before sending Cody Rhodes to the corner. Cody Rhodes slings over Randy Orton and he charges and rolls him up for a 2 count. Cody Rhodes forearms Randy Orton in the back and Randy Orton is in a lot of pain. Cody Rhodes hits a snap vertical suplex for a 2 count. Randy Orton calls the referee over and whispers to him. Cody Rhodes heads to the top rope and stands, but Randy Orton gets to his feet and crunches him. Randy Orton climbs the second rope and attacks Cody Rhodes. Randy Orton then climbs the top rope and hits a massive superplex. Randy Orton back immediately size upon the impact. Randy Orton managed to get to his feet and hits a pair of clotheslines. Randy Orton does a clothesline and hits Cody Rhodes with a snap power slam. Randy Orton slams him into the ropes and his trademark draping DDT. Randy Orton begins stalking his prey and slowly pounds the mat. Randy Orton goes for an RKO, but Cody Rhodes pushes him off and sends Randy Orton sends Randy Orton out of the ring and goes for a suicide dive. But Randy Orton punches him in the face. Randy Orton then hits Cody Rhodes with a back suplex into the commentary table. Randy Orton starts around the ringside area and casually takes a sip of water. Randy Orton grabs him, but Randy Orton shoves him into the ring post. The crowd is booing Cody Rhodes. Is Cody Rhodes limping? Randy Orton is in the ring and bleeding from the forehead. Cody Rhodes gets in the ring and attacks the wound. Cody Rhodes stomps away at the bleeding Viper. Cody Rhodes attacks the wound and hits a disaster kick. Cody Rhodes whips the blood of Randy Orton on his chest. Cody Rhodes continues to attack in the injured Orton and slams him onto the apron. Randy Orton collapses on the apron. Cody Rhodes taunts the crowd and they boo. Cody Rhodes then hits Randy Orton with a draping DDT. Cody Rhodes then drops down and marks Randy Orton's RKO taunt. Cody Rhodes goes for an RKO, but Randy Orton sidesteps him. Randy Orton hits Cody Rhodes with the crossroads for a near fall. The referee hands Randy Orton a towel and he wipes his blood off his face. Randy Orton drops down and goes for an RKO, but Cody Rhodes counters with a backslide pin for a 2 count. Cody Rhodes immediately follows up with an RKO 1-2. Randy Orton kicks out of his move. Randy Orton rolls out of the ring to recover. Cody Rhodes looks at his injured opponent and bounces him off the commentary table. Cody Rhodes then gives Randy Orton a back suplex on the table. Further injury his composing back. Randy Orton rolls Randy Orton into the ring and ties him up with a crossroads. Randy Orton hits an RKO from out of nowhere. 1-2. Cody Rhodes kicks out. Both men are trying to get their bearing straight. They slowly get up and start trading punches. Randy Orton kicks him in the midsection and Randy Orton punches him back. Randy Orton responds with a punch before Cody Rhodes punches him in the eye. Randy Orton is bonded. Randy Orton bumps into the referee and gives him an RKO out of pure instinct. Randy Orton is shocked. Cody Rhodes checks on his friend Charles Robinson. Randy Orton goes for a low blow, but Cody Rhodes blocks it. Cody Rhodes kicks Randy Orton in the groin. Cody Rhodes is bleeding from the head now. Cody Rhodes goes for a Cody cutter, but Randy Orton hits him with an RKO out of midair. Pat McAfee, wearing a neck brace and wearing a referee shirt, runs down. Pat McAfee counts 1-2. Cody Rhodes kicks out. The crowd chants, "Referee, you suck." Randy Orton smiles at Pat McAfee, but he looks a bit maniacal. Randy Orton then drops Pat McAfee with the RKO. Cody Rhodes hits Randy Orton with the crossroads. 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match by pinfall and still your undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. This was the worst match of the night. Y'all mess up this feud between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Like I said it before, what was the point about if Randy Orton was going to lose to Cody Rhodes tonight, then what was the point about Randy Orton to become the number one contender at the Elimination Chamber match to begin with? That don't make any sense. Cody Rhodes is celebrating with the title when Randy Orton pulls it away from him and hits him in the head with it. Randy Orton then thinks about it tossed the belt aside and gives a bleeding Cody Rhodes a punt kick. Randy Orton, who is also bleeding from the forehead, picks up the undisputed WWE champion and stands over Cody Rhodes as the show comes to an end. We see you tomorrow for WrestleMania 42 Sunday Night 2. And WWE, yeah. And that's all I got to say. Let me read you guys the quick match results. The Usos main event. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso in LA Knight defeated Division, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and ISO Speed in a 6-man tag team match. The Samoan Werewolves, Jacob 2 defeated Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. That match was good, but it needs more chaos, needs more violence. Paige and Brie Bella defeated Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and Lyra Kira in the Irresistible Force, Nia Jax and Last Legends in the Fatal 4-way tag team match to win the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. The Man Becky Lynch defeated AJ Lee to win the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. The Ring General Gunther defeated Seth Rollins in the Stampede. Liv Morgan defeated Stephanie McCure to become your new Women's World Champion. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes defeated the Viper Randy Orton to retain the undisputed WWE Championship. And WrestleMania and WWE WrestleMania 42 Night 1 goes off the air. Let me give my honest opinion when I think about WWE WrestleMania 42 for Night 1. Now, WWE WrestleMania 42 Night 1 was not a good show at all because it doesn't feel like a WrestleMania 42, but it has some good matches and good moments, and that's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE WrestleMania 42 Night 1 review on WrestleMania 41 Night 1 review and highlights, I want you guys to full watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning all towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content because I'm on the road to 11K before the end of April. Follow all my social media down below in the description. Go check out my WWE SmackDown review and highlights, and I will see you guys tomorrow for my WWE WrestleMania 42 for Night 2. And I will see you guys tomorrow for my WWE WrestleMania 42 Night 2 review and highlights, which is WrestleMania 42 Night 2 is going to be a way better match card than it is Night 1. And that's all I got to say from here. I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And I'll see you guys in my world premiere for my WWE WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania 42 Night 1 review and highlights. So I want you guys to have at around 5 o'clock a.m. I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Like the video and share the video and tell your friends I'm on the road to 11K before the end of April. So stay too sweet. And I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang.